Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 1 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. As always, guys, if you're not watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the league around you.
Also take some time to answer the question of the day, which may have just changed, potentially, for some people, which is, what was your favorite match of the season?
Oh,
regular season, obviously.
I was one of those people. That last matchup, Wolters versus Lamp, is now my favorite match of the season so far. David, what is yours?
It's pretty great, and I could waffle back and forth on which one is my favorite, but got to be one of the ones involving Lamp just going crazy. So,
yep,
any of them.
Oh, so good, Lamp. Thank you so much for that. Up next, though, is Rival versus Simp. On the side of Rival, we've got Spanish. On the side of Simp, we've got Mac G. Gentlemen, welcome both of y'all. Oh, it's good to see you, Spanish.
Hola.
Hola, indeed. Spanish, going to go over and start with you on the side of Rival. The same question we've been asking all these teams as we end the season out. We're going to be finishing up this Gold League. What are your guys' overall thoughts?
I wish we had one more, would be the first thought, obviously. Winning would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutally honest.
But there's a lot of things that you learn from a season like this. You learn a lot about people's characters. You learn a lot about, just playing better.
Sure.
So hopefully you'll see at least some of us back strong next season.
Absolutely. I do not want to not see that sombrero next season, Spanish. You better make it in. And again, congratulations for making it to the Gold League this season again, guys. It's been so fun to watch you. I've definitely seen a lot of improvement.
Well, Spanish, is there anything you have to say to your fans?
Well, first of all, thanks for sticking through a 2-8 so far season. That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
And more so, just the fans of the WGLNA, whether you're rooting for us or against us, I think the whole thing is awesome, and I like all of you equally. So
awesome indeed.
What a nice guy.
That's a fantastic way to end it. I could not agree more with you, Spanish. Thank you so much for that. Over on to Mac G side, sir. I'm going to ask you the same question. As this season is coming to a close, what are you guys' final thoughts?
I mean, our thoughts are, first off, that's an awesome hat. I love it.
Yeah, that's my thought as well.
Outside of that, I mean, I think we've done well, but at the same time, we also realized that there were a lot of opportunities we missed and could have taken advantage of during the regular season, and our hope is that come playoff time, a few weeks down the road, we fix those issues and we're ready to go.
All right, well, definitely. We can't wait to see how you guys do perform in the upcoming playoffs. Yeah, exciting.
Mac, do you have anything you want to say to your fans? Your fans or Simp's fans or both? Floor is yours.
To everyone cheering for Simp. I mean, thank you guys so much. You guys are a big part of what we do and why we do it. It's awesome to always be getting positive feedback and always be getting cheered on. So thank you guys, and really appreciate it.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate you guys just as equally. Now, Spanish, before we get into the match, do you have anything you'd like to say to Mac G?
Good luck, have fun. And apparently the power of the sombrero hasn't been working, so I'm not going to mention that.
Well, it's just kind of going, what power are you talking about? Mac G, any response to Spanish?
Oh, if the power of the sombrero didn't work this season, then hopefully it works next season and get you guys back into the Gold League, if that's what you have to do.
Absolutely, you guys. Absolutely. Best of luck to both of you. We'll see you in the match shortly. Oh man, that sombrero. It has powers.
If it doesn't end up getting powers, or if he doesn't want to wear it anymore, or if perhaps he doesn't come back, we can always send it to us. We're going to build a special glass case for player relics, like retired jersey kind of things.
There.
Sombrero front and center.
Yeah, and it's just going to go down in history. So again, Spanish, that's open. That's on the floor. So bring that one up. Now, let's look at the rosters for both these teams pulling this one up. We got Simp versus Rival, and you guys know changes so far. You guys have known them. You guys have loved them. Looking at Simp right now, this match, David, kind of, if you're in position, walk me through what it means for them. What is this?
Well, so we can take a quick look at the standings. Basically, how everything's played out now, Elevate has a chance to take 3rd overall. if Noble loses.
Okay.
Which would make Simp 4th overall if Simp wins for a full 3 points and Noble loses for a full, well, for 0. Right. So if that happens, then Elevate, like I said, is only 4 points behind Refuse, and Simp is then tied with Noble at 22 points. And when those two played each other, Simp won in a tiebreaker win for 2 points overall, and that's the deciding factor. So for any of this to change from what kind of the expected bracketology is, Simp needs to win this one, and then in our last match of the day, we need to see what happens with Noble, who will hold the fate of so many teams in their hand.
That's right. Well, to get there, we have to finish this one first. Ladies and gentlemen, Rival versus Simp, starting out onto Ghost Town. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tank.
So much Ghost Town. Rival on offense with 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and 2 Tiger 1s. Simp with a 5100, 3 IS-3s, a T-32, a T-54 lightweight, and an FB-304.
Right, so we got the artillery there coming out for Simp. How effective it is for them on defense. Now, just, man, I almost said, hey, are you confident to say? I'm not going to ask you that question. But bringing in artillery onto defense, does that pretty much, again, not guarantee you a North Cap victory, but it definitely scares away Rival from taking the North, right?
This is one thing I would be fairly confident about. Absolutely. And FE-304 is great for resetting cap on a map like this, on almost any map, honestly. Now, does that guarantee you won't get capped out?
Right, no.
More or less, yes. You know, provided you don't lose your FE-304 for some reason. But does it guarantee you win? That's an entirely different discussion, and I don't think it does, because, well, obviously, you can never guarantee a win on its own.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what it comes down to is you're losing the strategic option that you get from having that flank, that scout, that tier 6. And in this instance, Crimson's going to have to get some spotting in order to get some resets here. Drynet's going forward, looking for either a proxy light, or he's just going to take it right on the chin and do what he has to do to get this spot. Looks like they are, one is within proxy distance, just Airtie. And Drynet's trying to work that corner, but he's running out of time, and now is not the time to finesse. 5 seconds, get in there, and Crimson better hit the shot.
Down to 4, Drynet's going through, taking the shot. He does hit it, but the shot from Crimson actually missing. Now the reload time for the IS-3 might not be enough. And there it is, another shot coming from the side. A beautiful pickup there, coming in. A lot of damage going through, and Rival's middle cap has failed them. So let's see how they can respond to this. If they're walking right into a trap from Simp, Airtie finding Drynet's. They collapse down upon him, taking a tank out already. Where the more of the overmatches come from. Over on the side, over the Prime finding more damage. This picking up Airtie, and now he's in some trouble himself as he's got 3 tanks looking like barreling down on his position. 2 IS-3s. The Tiger One's actually fighting a Droxus in that 5100, and now Valkyrie taking some more damage. Overload Prime finding the Django, but Slick finding a Droxus. A nice double kill there coming out from both of the teams. I guess a single kill leading to 2 deaths. Velatio taking a kill. Overload Prime finding Slick. And now, Rival down to 2 tanks, 5 tanks, now 4 remain for Simp. Spanish finds this. It is a bloodbath over on the center cap here. Malaysia on the run in that IS-3. HK coming from 9, taking the shot. It bounces Hall, looking for the other one, looking for the cleanup. There it is. Hall picking up, taking down that heavy tank. And now photo finish and Overload Prime here. Defend against Spanish, HK and Hall. A nice shot there from Crimson. But if Team Rival can pick up these two, this T-32 and this T-54, they will be in a good chance to just finish off Crimson. Let's see how much damage these tanks can do. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be Rival? Will it be Simp? The HP is extremely close, but it is in favor of Simp. Photo finish, finds Spanish. A nice pickup there. Crimson shot is ready and loaded. He picks up HK. A beautiful pickup there from that artillery. Overload Prime to seal the deal, and Simp picking up the first victory of the night.
That whole time I was sitting there thinking in my head, a track shot is worth 400 or more, you know, roughly a lot of damage from the FE-304 at this point, because he's got rear engine deck on the IS-3, right on the roof of the Tiger. Either way, he's going to penetrate for full damage very consistently if he got those shots. Crimson
he got those shots.
Roughly coming out with 1,000 overall. Fairly good shooting on his part. No real stats of note, except for Overlord Prime doing 2,300 and Photo doing 2,100. But you see what you saw is exactly what happened there. No real secret stuff. Try to cap fast. Didn't work out. And from there, Simp just out-brawled him. Drynitz got absolutely annihilated. But that's what he had to do. He had to get that spot.
Sure.
And see what happens next game.
Well, now, looking at it, it really did come down to Drynitz taking that shot off in the middle. If that shot would have bounced, if that shot would have missed, that would have been the game.
And what's interesting is teams would handle that differently. I would certainly be hesitant to let the IS-3 take damage on that. It's a gamble, right? But I would think it's a fairly easy shot from the FE-304.
Okay.
But if there might have been an element of communication in there where you say, okay, Crimson, can you hit this shot? And he's like, I don't know, it's 50-50.
Like,
then you make sure to poke
in there
and take that shot with Drynitz and get that overall shot in. I'd probably try and load up an HE shot on my way in and just hit a track or something
flash
near
damage
the side. Something to guarantee a reset without risking myself so much because there were so many tanks coming up the side. But Drynitz had to go all the way out.
Yeah.
He got lit up for it.
Got collapsed upon.
He was going to die anyways, but he maybe would have lasted a little bit longer.
Hey, but he did his job. I mean, he got the victory. The
GG
team
right
won.
there.
Simp up now 1-0 against team rival on Ghost Town. Let's get right into it. We're ready for the next battle. We haven't switched sides, so let's see what we've got for our tank.
Team rival still on offense with 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and 2 Tiger 1s. Simp with 1 5100, 3 IS-3s, a T-32, an AMX 1390, and FE-304.
Still in that artillery. Back there. Sure you can get those resets. And it's great. I mean, just see from that really central position up there in the A or B, 2 or 1, where Crimson sits in that artillery. He can reset pretty much both caps fairly easily. And
should be able to, yes.
Right. And I mean that's a huge advantage there, where a team will keep an artillery at a single spot and have a nice spread across the map.
So, like I've said before, on this map it's a little bit tricky as well. In general, when you bring an FE-304, you cannot bring another. You can't bring a tier 6, right? You can't. You don't have a scout to defend you many times. So you have to then spend a tier 8 on it. So unless you can create a situation where 5 tanks can hold off 6 tanks in the tier 8 situation, then you're already as open to a tier 6 with any sort of jukes. So like a T-37 or an AMX 12T or something can get by you, then kill your FE-304. And a lot of the time, if you're bringing one, that is like your whole strategy is based around it. We can hold these positions, he'll get the resets. So it's just opening up an avenue for him to get sniped by either a light tank or you bring another FE-304 and see if you can counter him. A lot of them don't move that much. They fire very frequently, so it's easy to hunt them down. And a lot of the time, if you're on offense or defense in this situation where Simp is, how often do you send another tank to go try and find the enemy FE-304? It's not even hitting you, because there's no way it can. It just seems like kind of a weird expenditure. But I can get into the meta of that expenditure all day. Right now, 2 Tiger 1s starting to rip up photo finish.
Wow, here we go. Let's see the engage happen. 15 seconds is on the clock. Rival looks like they're going for the fast cap against Simp. Let's see if it's going to work out. Crimson doing a nice job finding the resets that he needs. Bringing it back to 20 seconds in counting.
Jeez.
Supposed to go down Nits, though. Every time he pops up and takes a shot, unfortunately not connecting. He takes some more damage in return. HK in that Tiger. A lot of damage being dropped down below half.
Atrox is going to be so frustrated when he watches this again.
Why?
Well, so the 5100s from Rival dumped so much of their clips and almost hit nothing. So he's thinking that they're loaded, and they're not. They're not loaded at all. He could have clipped one down right then and there, but we still have action coming out with these 2 Tiger 1s who are miraculously holding against 3 tier 8s for no real reason.
The Tiger 1's coming out strong. Photo finish, getting tracked. 1 or 2 more shots. A high roll might be able to take him down. Let's see if Spanish can do it. 250. No, HK goes down to Atroxis. Urtot picks up photo, and Atroxis with a double kill, finding Spanish. Rival has given up on the cap. It is now a 5-on-6 in favor of Simp. The HB, though, is in favor. HB is in favor of Simp as well. Going down, though, back and forth with these shots going through. Valkyrie, 1 more shot in that IS-3. He should go down. Our time moving forward now. All members of Rival are bunched up. Drynitz running in with that 1390. I thought he was going to go like Superman mode, going for that IS-3. But no, Hall getting caught out in his IS-3, getting tracked. Atrox now having free rate, 980 points of health. He is down to just 20 in that heavy tank, making it out with just barely enough HP. Vallejo picking up Hall. Slick finds Atroxis. Now Valkyrie, who's in just 18 in his IS-3. He's just hanging on by a thread. Drynitz against Slick. A 5100 again against an AMX 1390. Who's going to try? And Drynitz picks that one up. The Django, meanwhile, taking down Malaysia in the center. It is a 3 now on 2. Rival should be going down here any minute now. Drynitz saving that final shot for Valkyrie. Let's see if we can pick it up, though Nitz getting extremely low. The Django might be able to pick this one up. He can find the shot. If Drynitz can't hit this, it might be extreme close. Rival could claw the way back. Drynitz lines up the shot into Valkyrie. A beautiful pickup there. The Django does find Nitz. The Django is on reload. A nice shot there coming out for Crimson. He has got about 38 seconds in that 5100, while Drynitz has 23 on
Another situation where 5100 is reloading, and if Simp knew it, it would be a totally different situation here. Looks like Drynitz probably talked to his team, trying to figure out if he did reload, and they're all relatively certain they at least don't have enough shots to kill Drynitz, which is perfect.
Oh, wow.
How did he? Oh, he spotted him himself. Okay, never mind.
What a shot and attracted the Django, turning his turret around. Drynitz running it for the ram. It looks like taking the damage and finishing it off with a shot.
No.
A 1390, taking down his father, the 5100. Simp increasing the victory 2-0 there.
It's not an intelligent ram to do, but I guess he knew it didn't matter. I don't know. That was real close. I mean, he very easily could have killed himself.
Huh.
Statistically, Slick for Rival did 2600. The Django did 2200. Wow. Drynitz did 2200.
Close game.
Nobody else breaking 2000 overall for both teams.
Yeah.
Actually, those Toe Tiger ones, neither of them broke 600 damage, 503 and 490. So they were being held, I guess, by the 5100s.
Okay.
Who had dumped their clip into them, but they didn't penetrate a lot of those shots. I mean,
no.
They did.
They did. They penetrated.
Did. That is weird. I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
The magic of Tiger ones.
When they were mostly out of their shots, there wasn't much damage done.
Backed up.
I guess a lot of those probably penetrated modules, so like tracks and stuff, but didn't do actual damage to the tanks themselves.
Okay.
Because that many shots, I don't know.
Well,
I could very well just be losing my mind.
Hey, it happened to the best of us. One thing I kind of want to talk about is you said how multiple times when Simp maybe goes back and watches, they might beat themselves up because the 5100s were on reload. They had a very clear time to go back and watch that. So that really comes down to keeping track of the shots. Tell me how difficult that is to keep track of multiple autoloaders.
It's not
whose job it is, or okay.
It's not. If you saw them, then it's not. It's if they're in the background, if there's some place and they're sniping you, especially if there's multiples. If there's only one, it's super easy. Because you know when you're getting shot by a 5100. You know the damage amounts.
You just know. You're
pro players, man. They know these things.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's awesome.
if it's two and you can see them, it gets a little bit more confusing. But you can count the overall number of shots and then deduce, and that just comes down to communication, the communication systems you have.
Yeah.
People use different systems like 2 fired, 3 fired, whatever. We used, I think it was -1, -2, -3, -4. So it's like, the Django -5, which means he has 1 shot left.
Okay.
But it's not like an update. If somebody just asks, then you would just say he has 1 shot left. It would be like as he's firing, it'd be like Django -4, Django -5.
Sure.
And then everybody knows. In that situation, Adroxus would have heard it and been like, so-and-so -5, so-and-so -4. Be like, oh, there's 3 shots left. I'm going to kill this dude right now.
Taking a lot to take in these battles. So much chaos, but these pro players know how to handle it all. Ladies and gentlemen, we've switched sides on Ghost Town. Simp on the offense, Team Rival on defense. Let's see who's going to take this one. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tank.
Team Rival with 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, a T-32, and an MT-25. Simp with 1 5100, 3 IS-3s, a T-32, a T-54 lightweight, and an M24.
Crimson, that artillery now on offense. And well, he can make it work for him. Through here, Team Rival starting out now, going through. I think a lot of members of the Northern Cap sending HK for a quick scout right in the center. Getting set up. Again, it looks like just kind of the opposite of where he was in last time. Making sure he has good range over the entirety of the map. Now, Dave, looking at you, we've got the push here coming out from Simp. Obviously, assuming going for that Northern Cap with HK and that MP25, he meets up against Overlord Prime right now. And Overlord Prime will take it, right?
Who against who? HK?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Overlord Prime should? Yes. Oh, yeah, it's Nips 25 for some reason. Okay. Yes, he'll take it. He'll take it. There is no uncertainty about that one.
What if Meadowhawk is driving it?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Yeah, right?
Meadowhawk. Meadowhawk is that man can probably divide by 0. I don't know.
He
It's
totally can.
It's just insanity.
There we go. Shot there going after the M44. Just missing Valkyrie. And his IS-3 dry knits and photo finish down. A blind cap pressure, but a beautiful shot there coming out of Spanish into photo finish. Good chunk of damage there. Now, David, if you're photo finish, you're going to be a shield right now for dry knits? You're just going to be that sacrificial lamb?
Yep. He doesn't really have too much of an option. He's got the turret. He can go hold down, but he is the one that has to do the poking and thus taking the damage.
Oh.
It's not going to matter much.
That's
Team
right.
Rival's collapsing on Simp right now.
Rival wants to shut this one down. Spanish coming over through. Hall letting some shots go, taking some as well. Spanish now being focused. Palacio and Nitz from the side doing a lot of damage at the M44, missing from Crimson. Spanish 671 points. There's one more shot. He'll go down. The Django picks up Palacio. 2 5100s coming into Nitz. He has to run. He gets dropped very low on that photo finish. Now going down. Slick picking up that one. Now 2 tanks down for the side of Simp, and even more to fall as it seems as Nitz. One more shot, he will go down, as well as Drynitz. The Django picking up that one. Drynitz does find Hall before he goes down, but Slick picking up another IS-3. It is now 5-on-3, and it looks like Rival's gonna take this victory on defense. Plus Droxus over the Prime in Crimson. Pull out some sort of miracle here. Droxus going in. It's HK. One more shot. His shot actually missing there. Let's see if he can find it. There it does. Picks up that MT-25. It is now a 4-on-3. Droxus deciding to reload. The Django, though, come around the corner, and once he has that shot, he'll be able to take him out. No problem. Slick, one more, letting it go.
There's such an opportunity for a hilarious combo right now. If Droxus and Crimson talked about it, he could jam on the brakes, stop Django where he is, drive off, and watch an M44 drill him from right behind. Missed opportunity. I mean, we're talking high-level stuff here, but it seemed like a good shot to me. I mean, you got a 5100 driving in the open like that. The immediate strategic question for me as Crimson is, how can we make him stop? You see a Droxus driving in front of him, say, Droxus, hit the brakes, but he hits them anyways for 564.
There we go.
Doesn't need it.
No brakes needed there. Crimson picking up a beautiful shot on the Django. Slick is about to find Overlord, or should I say Overlord is about to find Slick. Couple more seconds on that reload and one more shot, and he'll pick it up there. Overlord Prime going down. Now just Crimson and that M44 remains. The Django should be able to clean this one up, and the victory going to Rival. A nice pickup there. Their lead, not lead, I guess, but they're just down now 1 instead of 2 on defense. So looking at kind of that opening there, going out for Simp, running in, sending the IS-3 T-32 onto the Northern Cap. Crimson sitting back there. What was the break in their strategy? Where did it kind of fall through for them?
Took a large amount of damage on their guys that were on cap.
Okay.
Which typically doesn't happen. And it kind of set a situation in motion where Rival just pushed on him and was able to clean it up. A lot of those different times are all throughout that battle. It was everybody's game. And it's just overall, Rival shot better.
Hitting the shots. All right. Anything in statistics to cover? It was top of the charts. Or?
Airtie did almost 3,000 damage, 2831 with his IS-3. We can go to him. I think we have time.
Yeah.
I think we have time, and it's been a minute. Perfect 7 from Airtie, for, as we said, 2831. The Django, 8 penetrated out of 9 hit. Slick, 6 out of 7. Nobody else. And for Simp, didn't shoot very well. Droxus, 3 for 5. Rough times. Rough times as the half-android player known as Androxus. Struggles to get his shots in at 5100.
Again, it's a Droxus, guys, not Androxus. Come on.
What?
Yeah, that's what I've known the whole time. Now, kind of looking at what we've got for Simp, we talk about how important this is for Simp, right? How they definitely need to win this. They need to find the max amount of points here. If they get tied up in the first map, go into the second map, Rival keep going back and forth like this, I mean that's got a lot of pressure here, because this isn't like the match we saw with High Wolves. We're like, hey, we're guaranteed first place, we can do whatever we want. I mean, there's some serious tilt presence that could really manifest itself, if I'm not mistaken. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, they need this win. They can't just mess around with it. So we'll see exactly how it goes out. I'd be surprised if this actually draws out on Ghost Town. Simp is not a team that struggles on Ghost Town most of the time. All
right, well, let's see if that is the case, because, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our fourth battle, our final battle on a Ghost Town for our third matchup of the night. Rival versus Simp. Can Rival tie it up, or can Simp take a 3-1 lead? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tank.
Rival with two 5100s, 3 IS-3s, a T-32, and an MT-25. Simp with the 5100, 3 IS-3s, a T-32, and 2 Tiger 1s. Brute forcing it with the Tiger 1s. Last time I saw them do that, it was against high voltage. It did not work out. Perhaps it'll come out more favorably this time.
Right here, Tiger 1's also running different camos. You talked about this on Lakeville, how you would like the same camos on these things. Looks like a lot of members for Simp actually running different camos for different tanks. Why is it that you want, or in your opinion, should you have similar camos on things? Just making it harder to track?
Yeah, and I'll be very clear. It's unlikely. It's not that big of a deal. Oftentimes, you know, same camos, but they got different insignias on the tank. All sorts of stuff, right?
Sure.
But there is that rare situation where it's easier to differentiate who somebody is, or whether it's ground. Wow. Okay. HK down.
HK's down. Continue.
Yeah. About whether it's ground or bushes or the very edge of a terrain. On steps in particular is where I noticed it the most. These crazy 9-0 line fights that we used to have when we practiced Virtus Pro. Okay. And there was one guy who had a camouflage pattern on it, and every once in a while, when the battles got real intense, it was like, wait, hold up, is that the edge of his... And then he would shoot. I was like, okay, that is the edge of his tank.
Wow.
It looks real similar. Very rarely, and obviously, I mean, to practice with him, it was early in the morning, all sorts of stuff. Never really had an issue with it in live play, but the way I see it is, in real life, those camos are there to confuse the eye and distort stuff.
Sure.
So why not give it a shot, right? And if everything's the same, it's just another subconscious thing that makes it harder to differentiate who is who. And allow you to focus directly on the vehicle instead of the health bar or the names, which makes better shots. A lot of damage coming out. Actually, not as much as I expected. A lot of shots coming out, but only a little bit of damage.
Dryness gain dropped to 120.
Dryness, however.
Yeah. Got lit up right there. Looks like
he's in the danger zone.
Urtai. Now, riding right on the danger zone there. Members of Rival, a little bit of a stalemate going on here. Not a lot of movement. Finally, Simp pushing through your lapping. Maybe looking for Hall. I mean, Hall is going to get caught out right now from a lot of tanks. Come around the corner. Let's see, he's going to lit up 2 shots. Now 3 going into that T-32. He is on the run. Now from every single corner. Overlord Prime going to be the one to pick that one up. And now, let's see Rival's response as Slick and the Django are to go against Adroxus. 2 5100s against 1. See how long Adroxus can stall for the rest of his team. Looks like his team's actually not coming for him. His job right now is to tank these 2 tanks out of the fight as Simp pushes elsewhere over in the city. More damage going across. Lots of fire going to Valkyrie and Slick going through. More damage coming, finding 211 points left in that IS-3. One more shot, and he will go down. Nitz taking out Valkyrie here. Overlord Prime, though, and Drynitz both are extremely low. If Spanish and Urtai can get the right shots, they'll take him down, but it's both will finish finding that IS-3, and now it is Urtai against the massive amount of Simp members. Beautiful focus fire there coming out of Crimson, and the rest of the members of Simp. Adroxus is still alive over here, being chased by the Django and Slick, doing a good job stalling for the time that he needed. He is done with his shots, and Django picking that one up, but that is the only tank that they have right now going for them. Rival just has 2 5100s against 6 members of Simp. They know where their position is, and instead of going for the cap, they are just going to go for them.
We'll have an angle here on the Django. Not enough to kill him or get a track shot, but enough to create a cap pressure with Nitz, which is plenty of time, and everybody else just trying to hunt down these tanks for the damage. Honestly, these 2 5100s had the game in the palm of their hand. They had the flank on almost all the major tier 8s aside from Adroxus, and they got a little bit too worried about Adroxus. Some basic shuffling to trade HP between the two could have dispersed Adroxus' clip from behind. No big deal, and he wouldn't have killed anybody. But even if he did kill somebody, the ability to get 6 shots out and take down up to 2 tanks, well, up to 3, but most likely 2 tanks, when they're pinned in the low ground like that, is a dream position. It's exactly what you want. So, a little bit of a fumble brewski coming out of Team Rival there. They need to remember the laces go out.
Possibly allowing Simp that victory, but Simp did take the victory now, 3-1 against Rival. David, you kind of, so explain to me again, as the fight was kind of ending there, that also what you're saying. You had Adroxus, his 5100 for the side of Simp, and then you've got Rival with their 2 5100s. If you were Rival in that situation, you said don't chase Adroxus. Just
no. So right after Simp vaporized Hull, it's T-32.
Gone.
All those tanks were on a corner,
right,
where they had to push up a hill into several tanks that can get on top of the hill and kind of fire down, or at least stop them from climbing up.
Yeah.
As IS-3s have to go up and over, and when they do that, the front pike is covered, or exposed.
Drag under pressure.
In the meantime, there are two 5100s sitting on the flat right behind them, far enough away to use their elevation and their terrain to have very small shots in return. And they could have just both focus fired 1-2 tanks down very quickly.
Wow. And
all that would have happened is Adroxus would have come in from behind him. Best case for Simp, Adroxus could have rammed them and pushed them forward to make them hittable by all the other 8s. Killed them both pretty quickly. But the odds of those 5100s getting 5 to 6 of their shots out before dying were very high. And that's the whole point of that trap. To get him to go into that spot, collapse on him, and end it. So I didn't have very good eyes on those 5100s to decide or to see why they made that decision.
Yeah.
But once I looked up from seeing Hall, get ground into little pieces, it looked very obvious to me that those 50s should have been shooting at different targets.
All right, and if that was
definitely not chasing around 150-100 for a long time.
yeah. Adroxus took those 2 tanks out of the fight. He really just eliminated it. The 1-2 exchange are already in favor of Simp. That happened.
It's a tricky thing, as is most situations in tanks. I mean, a lot of people don't quite understand how hard this game is sometimes.
I do.
But you have that situation where 150-100 bullying 2, and those 2 have to know that if they chase after them, they'll either lose one of them or they'll get strung along.
A lot of
we'll talk about that again in a second because we do have a match starting.
That's right. We're now, ladies and gentlemen, into Mines. Simp versus Rival. Simp up 3-1. Simp's on the offense. Rival's on the defense. So let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our day.
Rival on defense with 2 IS-3s, 3 T-54 lightweights, and 2 LTDBs. Simp on offense with 3 IS-3s, 2 T-54 lightweights, a Comet, and an AMX 1375 or 57F.
All right, a Comet.
Yep, this is strange.
Explain that.
It's a high DPM tank. It's not a bad tank. But in this situation, it's just very strange. Looks like a high DPM middle brawl developing, which would be interesting. The 57F, I've never even played. It's one of the hardest tanks to get. I've heard mixed reviews, but
a lot of shots going out and only a few hitting. The ones that did hit, though, were onto the side of Team Rival. Another shot going into HK in that LTTB. But most of them unscathed. The question is, how is Simp going to respond to this? Will they give Rival the hill, or will they push up and find the overmatch where they can? Crimson on the backside, making sure, I don't know if anyone, so no one can go off this, and abandon the hill, as it looks like Simp is looking for a push here. Valkyrie being focused there as Tridents and Fellatio pushing it up in their eyes. Reese more damage going across. Overlook Prime actually takes some shots. Slip. Low half health on that P54. Valkyrie down, more shots going through. Simp decides just a push on. Forget the hill. They want to find the overmatch. Crimson come from behind. Nitz picking up Valkyrie. More shots going through. Now it's going to be on to Hall. Overlook Prime is extremely low. Photo finish looking for that shot in the comments. But Nitz finds another kill. Now Trident is caught out. Let's see how Rival can find this overmatch and see if they can take this IS-3 down before they suffer too much. Django lines the shot up. Another one going through. Urtai should be able to pick this one up. But Nitz, another kill onto Spanish. It is now 4 tanks on the side of Rival against 6 for the side of Simp. Nitz now finally being focused for Rival. Rival knows what a threat he has been this match, and they want to shut him down. But I'm not sure they got the tank though. Adroxus just driving over the King's Hill, taking down another member of Rival. Slick, HK, and the Django should be falling very quickly. There goes HK. Here goes Slick. And now finally, the Django in that order. Photo finish going through Adroxus. Might be able to finish this one off with that IS-3 shot. Will he pick it up? It is going to be Adroxus, and Simp increasing that victory gap. Now 4-1 against Rival. The Comet. The Comet. Did it do what it was? I mean, would you still think another tank would have been better there, or did that do a pretty good amount of damage? I'd
say another tank would be better there. It did 1128, which is the 3rd highest on its team. Adroxus taking the lead with 2545. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Crimson's 1357 did 490 over 6 shots. I mean, Comet did more than 254s in an IS-3.
Oh,
so worth, I guess.
Pretty
Plus,
good.
I think a lot of people kind of ignore it. You know, they think it's not that big of a deal. But like I said, it's a high DPM tank.
Yeah.
And it's got pretty decent depression. Not great depression, but decent depression.
What's its main weak, would you say?
Just has no armor, pretty much.
Okay.
And it doesn't have a lot of hit points. And it's not particularly fast in comparison to like the LTTB or things like that. So I don't know. I'd have to evaluate it a little bit longer. Teams consistently breaking out tanks I didn't think I would see, just because I don't know. I don't have a problem with the LTTB, but a lot of people, a lot of players cry about its depression, and I just shrug,
just laugh.
Like, I don't know,
and then shoot with the
compensate
tank in
for
the game.
it.
Yeah,
I mean, well, the tank that I used to love to play all the time didn't have great depression either, so I'm just used to it.
Sure.
WZ-131's there if you want better depression, anyways. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're playing what they want to play. We'll see.
Working out for them too. Rival did
We'll
take a
see
team
later if it's actually
out.
worth it. See in the playoffs, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. If we see it where people are just it's really on the line here again, it's not on the line for Simp. I mean, they need this victory. They want to secure the best seeding that they possibly can going through. And so much does revolve not on this match, but again the match to follow against Noble. Whether they win or lose, right now we're talking about this one. So let's stay on this one. The hill fight going out there. On the start, Rival made it up. Didn't take too much damage. Going a few shots, a couple of their light tank, and then Simp. Normally we see teams when we get in that position with a heavier lineup decide just to be aggressive and push on top of the hill. Simp said, "Forget the 4 tanks up there. We're just going to go over and find the overmatch where we can." Was it a mistake for Rival to be on top of the hill? You've got the mountain, right? You've got the little mountain up, and Rival had members behind. About 3 of them. Simp decided. Was that a mistake for them because they couldn't quite focus the tanks that Simp was saying? All right, we're gonna forget you guys on the hill. We're gonna get the guys on the bottom.
Were you saying was that a mistake?
Yeah.
No. It's a perfect isolation. They had what they had, and they just dove on it.
For Rival.
For Rival?
Yeah.
It took them too long to get dry nets, but
yeah.
It wasn't a bad call.
Okay.
They just lost too many tanks in their own overmatch situation, the one that happened to them, to make up for it. So it's like a 2-for-1 exchange at least. It just wasn't. They were pretty much done as soon as Simp decided to overmatch them.
Gotcha. Now if you were Rival in that situation, you have your 4 tanks on top of the hill. Do you bail off? Do you decide to find maybe another avenue to go, or
I wouldn't put 4 tanks directly on top of the hill.
Hey, look at that. That's the answer we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're into the next battle. Simp versus Rival. Simp needing one more victory to take the night. Let's see if they can, or if Rival can pull something out of their hat. Right into it and look at what we've got.
Well, for Team Rival, we have a 5100, an M6, well, the Mutant 6 as it's known, Panther 88, a Borzig, a T-54 lightweight, a T-49, and a VK-2001.
Wow.
And for Simp, 3 Eyes 3s, 2 T-54 lightweights, Comet, and again, the AMX 1357. One thing to point out here is Simp match, this doesn't mean much to them. It means more to Elevate and to Noble. Because they are, if I ran my numbers correctly, they are 4th or 5th no matter what. Which means they stay in the same bracket.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we'll get into that when we get into the next match.
Django, that T-49, nothing connecting onto Overlord Prime. Now, David, if that T-49 would have connected onto that, or how much damage do you think that cranked out?
How much could it have done to the T-54? It can ammo rack it.
Wow.
Or in that, something just at 722. And I think it was the Borzig.
Yeah, that waffle. Ranking out the damage there. What is that? 1357F. Crimson Corsair now extremely low on top of the hill. He's got to be careful where he moves. Photo finish when that Comet takes some shots onto Valkyrie. A very diverse lineup coming out for Rival here. Do you see any rhyme or reason to it? Do you see, obviously they did not try to contest the hill whatsoever. Maybe a lot of big guns going for a lot of snipe.
They have a reasonable defense set up to stop Simp from capping. Simp has to cap, so as long as they can stay back and not get shot from the hill, they don't have any real problem. The thing here is it's not against a team that knows how to play mines from the north in the hill. There's nowhere too high, depending on certain things. All you can do is make it intimidating to push. Doesn't mean it's impossible to do.
Oh, you just
right.
Scary.
So yeah. If you don't know where the Borzig is, pushing anywhere is pretty terrifying. Same with the T-49. With this kind of lineup, oh, there's 2801, I forgot. So with this kind of lineup, anywhere you go, you can possibly just get annihilated, unless you can keep a very good track of where all the tanks are.
Okay. Rival making it not as easy for Simp to finish this one out, to find their 5th victory. 5 minutes remaining on the clock here. 4-1 against Rival. Simp HP is in favor of them, even though Crimson took so much damage there. That light tank, and now Nitz fighting Urtai. Looks like they're going to go for the push here. Overlord Prime and Nitz going through the Django at T49. He has a shot ready and waiting. Let's see if he can make anything connect. No, it misses again. 2 missed shots coming out from the Django here. And now it looks like these two teams, of course, are just going to punish that tank. The Django 570, 655. Getting shot also from the hill. Nis lighting him up, picking up Urtai. A beautiful kill there. And now doing a good job proxy spotting. The Django shot is reloaded. Hall. Well, HK picking up Crimson. A beautiful shot there. Overlord Prime, though, does find the Django. And now it is a 5, actually a 6 on 5 in favor of Simp. More damage going out on top of the hill. Slick. Although doing their shots, doing as much as they possibly can to any member of Simp. If they can find that member. Looks like it's going to be Dryness, though. But Dryness has found Valkyrie. Also taking a shot from behind Overlord Prime. And Nit's in a good position to find a flank here. Beautiful focus fire there coming out for the offense team. 145 going through. Dryness picking up that kill. Valkyrie going down here. Now photo finish still proxy spotting Spanish. Getting a shot onto Hall. Slick extremely low in that waffle. Big gun, but I didn't see a big amount of damage. So another miss going out there, and Nit finding Slick. Now Overlord Prime rushing on his way up to find Hall in that 5100. He has one more shot. Overlord Prime should take this fair and square, and this will be Simp's 5th victory against Rival on our 3rd match of the night. Gonna end it on the Mines. It is just a Panther soon to be alive for Rival, driven by HK. How much damage can he do before he goes down is the question. Rocking right behind that Season 1, 2015-2016 sign, knocking out a tree. And now the rest of him going up. A nice chunk of damage going to Comet. He's going for the ramp. Not enough speed or tank. But this coming from behind, the suicide ramp going out. And HK picks up a double kill before he goes down. A beautiful way to end out that game for Rival. But Simp is the victors. They will pick that one up. That is their 5th victory that they needed. So obviously, like you said, Simp did kind of hesitate. They were not as confident to push against Rival as maybe they would have if they had a different lineup. But Simp found out the entrance they needed and picked up a few tanks. Cleaned that one up.
As far as stats go, Panther 88 did the most with 1437.
Man.
A lot of that being relatively gifted to him.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
And then Overlord Prime 2612, Nits 2365. That's it. That's all.
That's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That ends our 3rd matchup of the night. Our 4th and final match, Noble versus Maple. The match we were talking about has a lot of weight into how the rest of these standings for the playoff are going to go. Is right up after this quick break.